want that notification to go away. Anyway, let me talk to you and ignore the box. I'm on my Christmas break. I hope that a lot of you are on your Christmas break as well, enjoying family, enjoying time with your kids not being in school. I'm on the other side of the country enjoying time with my family and my in-laws right now. Just wanted to give you a little financial year-end giving update. It's the last 3 days of the year, which are always where so much happens. Like this is the 72 hours, like so much generosity takes place, not just for us, all over the world. Like nonprofit giving just explodes for these 3 days. And so I wanted to give you an update on where we're at. And one of the things I like to do when it comes to money is I like to just talk soberly, like straight. I don't like to make it fluffy. I don't like to make it a commercial. I like to just tell you what the numbers are, tell you what the goals are, tell you how we're doing, tell you what we're going to do with it and the difference that it makes, and just kind of be honest. And it's a part of, I don't know if it's the most effective way to do things, but it feels the best in my heart. And so that's what I want to do with all of you. So I'm going to talk about 3 things real quick. I'm going to try to do this in just 5 minutes or so. I want to talk about where we're at numbers wise, like how are we doing as far as our year-end giving campaign. I want to talk to you about what we're noticing about the trends of what's happening. And then number 3, the difference that it makes whether or not we hit these goals or not. So last 3 days, we are headed into these last 72 hours, about $240,000. $240,000 short of what our goals are. That sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. It's a lot of generosity that happens in these 3 days. Last year, in those same 3 days, we raised about $180,000. So a lot comes in these last 3 days. It really does. But we are behind, even with the growth of our organization and the growth of our giving audience. We're still $50,000 behind where we were hoping we would be headed into these last 3 days. And so we kind of are Ben Casperson, our director of finance, he dove into some of the trends and the numbers of like, is there anything that we can notice about what's different this year of why we might be lagging behind? And one of the things we noticed, a lot of really fun things, good things. We have more people giving this year than before. We have a steady recurring, those folks that give month after month after month. That's awesome. A lot of people will give every month and then give an additional gift at the end of the year as well, in addition to what they do every single month, which is it's always kind of very humbling to watch people do that and to go over kind of above and beyond with their generosity. It's encouraging to us. It's like a little shot of hope and encouragement that people believe in what we're doing, that they wouldn't just give, but they would give a little extra. The one thing we're noticing that isn't coming in is a lot of people that own businesses or engage in cash flow on a more annual basis as they get ready for this year's taxes. A lot of people will give those year-end gifts, and they'll be larger checks, $5,000 here, $10,000, $15,000. And they just give money differently because of how money works for them in the calendar year differently. And those are gifts that we just haven't seen. We have more people giving, but less of those larger gifts showing up in our year-end campaign this year. And that's okay. We've always said we're not going to get on here and like cause people to panic or guilt people into giving or any of those kind of things. We're going to take what God gives us and we're going to try to steward that. And if he gives us a lot, we're going to try to steward that. If he gives us a little through the generosity of others, we're going to steward that as well. I'm not the type of CEO leader that likes to get out there and like move on faith. Like I don't like it when financially organizations start stepping out and taking risks and just believe that God's gonna. I see leading an organization as a nonprofit as an act of stewardship. So I'm going to take what comes in. And so it's okay if we're a little behind. We'll figure out what to do with that with our budget. But here is the difference that it may make. If we can have a strong closing few days, there's 3 things we want to do this next fiscal year. We run a July to June fiscal year, and we've got to start planning at the end of January. Our budget preparation starts to ramp up, and we start looking ahead to figure out how we want to steward our budget for the next year. A lot of those plans will depend on how our year-end campaign goes. It's the best numbers we have to make good, educated guesses about how to steward next year's budget well. So here's three things that we wanted to do. Number one, last year we started making some changes about the way we compensate people. When we started our organization 20, 30 years ago, you did what every other small little missions startup nonprofit did. You made it work, and some people needed a lot and some people needed a little, and some people could raise more money than others. And so you just kind of pieced it together. And what that meant is that some people did a job getting paid far less than they should be getting paid for the job that they were doing. And that's just how you did it. And we understand that. We understand what it means to start up a nonprofit and to make those kinds of sacrifices. But then as things continue to grow, at some point you ought to address those things. We don't feel like it's right for somebody to do a job and not get paid appropriately for it. We don't like seeing men and women get paid differently. We don't like seeing somebody who's older versus somebody who's younger. We think people should get paid appropriately for the job that they do. We just think that's right. And so we started making those changes last year, and we didn't quite have enough money to make the full change. So we did a 2/3 implementation last year of the change that we want to see. Our commitment is this next year to finish that rollout. Priority number one is to make sure that we complete that 100% compensation overhaul for all the people that are on our payroll at our organization. We want to make that right, and we want to do that well before we do anything else. Before we move forward with any other future dreams or plans, we need to be the kind of people that we talk about on the podcast or in our campus ministry. We need to be consistent. Number two, is I would love to get some help around here so that I can do, like, if you love the podcast, if you like the YouTube channel, if the content we create, if you've ever had me come to your church or somewhere close by and you heard me speak for a weekend conference or show up to do a meet and greet, those are things that I love to do. I'm encouraged by it. I think it encourages other people. I love to steward my own presence in the world in that way. It makes the world a better place. I don't even mind doing fundraising like this. It's part of how I serve our organization well. But then there are ways that my job demands I do things that probably somebody else could be doing better. Like, you don't want me in a 2-hour meeting talking about the employee handbook. That's not utilizing my gifts in the best way. So we're trying to get some administrative executive help around here so that I can be freed up to do more of the things that give life to me and give life to you. And we found the people. We know who we want to hire. We're just not sure if we're going to have the money to hire them. And whether we have a strong year end is really going to make a difference on whether or not we move ahead with those plans or whether we don't move ahead with those plans come July, which just means we wait until the next July to make that move. So that's another way that a strong year-end giving campaign can make a difference. The last thing that we have is that the BEMA team always needs additional hands. It's not that we want to create more content. Sometimes we do some extra goodies. We want to do session 2 reboot this next year. So sometimes we do more, but it's not really about quantity, it's about quality. It's about making sure that we produce better content in healthier ways that are like healthier all the way from the producer all the way down to the person that engages the content. Maybe you'd call it a consumer. I hate that word, but you get the idea. And so the more people we can add to a team, the less stress somebody like Brent Billings carries as a producer, the less stress some of our editors and our communications department and all of those things. So we're always wanting to make sure that that team is as healthy as possible so that we're creating content in a healthy way. I don't want to create content if it costs us our souls and our personal health. So anyway, that's a little bit of an update. Let me just end by saying thank you to all of you that give every single year, to all of you that give every single month, to all of you who give a little bit every single month and give a little extra at the end of the year, to all of you who give once a year and write checks. Like, every single year this happens, and every single year God moves through your generosity, and we try to steward that well. And if you like the way that we steward our presence in the world, everything from our budget and the money to the content we create and the way that we use our voice, or the way that we work with college students at Impact Campus Ministries. Like, if you like the way that we take up space in the world, um, then we would love to just carry that over and steward generosity as well. So, if you want to help us reach our year-end goals, we'd love to have your help. And thank you for all of you who give. It means a lot. It's always it's always humbling in December every year to watch this happen. So much happens in the course of a month, in the last week, and then in the last few days. So if you've still got a check coming in, just know that we need it, we appreciate it, and we honor it. So thank you guys, and yeah, I'm getting a thank you comment. I love you guys. So looking forward to more great stuff in 2026. Okay, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.